before we have the last part, I would like to show you the video from the World Business Council for Sustainable Development.
Hello, my name is Dominic Warre, and I lead the World Business Council for Sustainable Development's work on the climate, nature, and equity action agendas, the imperatives of sustainability, as we like to think of them at WBCSD. I'm honoured to provide this message today, and I apologise that I cannot be with you in person. WBCSD is the premier global CEO-led community of over 200 of the world's leading sustainable companies, working collectively to accelerate the transformation of businesses and the value chains and systems in which they operate, collectively determined to avert the climate crisis, restore nature, and tackle inequality. One of the ways in which we extend WBCSD's reach to support that business transformation in businesses of all sizes all around the world is through our amazing global network. The WBCSD Global Network is a unique alliance of more than 60 CEO-led business organizations worldwide, comprising some 6,500 businesses, all united by a shared commitment to provide business leadership for sustainable development across the world. Now, the Czech BCSD is an important member of this global network, and I'm delighted to congratulate you all on your 10th year anniversary and to express WBCSD's fullest support for Project RETHINK and the manifesto you have gathered together to sign today. Your commitment to Project RETHINK and its manifesto absolutely confirms the leadership of the Czech business community and your strong commitment to sustainability and your drive towards real progress and transformational change. Long-term business success depends, of course, on thriving societies to trade with and a healthy planet for us all to exist on. It is, therefore, a business imperative that global temperature increases are limited to a maximum of 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. Achieving this requires decarbonisation efforts at an unprecedented scale, and businesses worldwide have a crucial role to play, matching their climate ambition with robust strategies and accelerating widespread implementation of the critical solutions we need. With the Czech Republic currently holding the EU presidency, you have a unique opportunity to send a strong message to the governments that encourages and supports the European Green Deal. As with WBCSD's own membership criteria, the RETHINK manifesto helps Czech business to galvanise the required level of ambition and focus collective efforts to transform value chains and energy systems as we strive toward a more sustainable future. I commend this important initiative, and WBCSD stands ready to support the Czech BCSD and all its members in this vital effort to avert the climate crisis and safeguard future business success. Thank you all very much indeed.
A teď poprosím o závěrečná slova, jestli bych poprosila všechny panelisty
to the members of the last panel, if I may invite all the panelists to the podium now. So Jonathan Wootliff, ambassador of the RETHINK platform, Eva Volfova, deputy minister of the Ministry of the Environment, and Petr Kalaš, president of the Czech Business Council for Sustainable Development. Děkuju. Čeká tam na nás francouzské víno a sýry.
60 seconds maximum. Just to say thank you very much, everybody, for coming. I think that this is an opportunity to particularly salute Peter Dovelil, my colleague, who really worked extremely hard to put together an extremely complicated set of panels and having to work with me. That said, I think it was an excellent day, and thank you very much, Peter, for that. I wanted to say one other thing, which is that what we have done today is proven that business really has the solutions. We said yesterday that companies are really the engines of change, while governments can be the catalysts and they can provide the frameworks. It's the private sector that are actually going to deliver the solutions. And thankfully today, we've actually started this process of demonstrating very clearly concrete, real actions. And so this, as I said before, is the beginning, not the end. We ended today, but this is the beginning of something which we look forward to working with all of our partners and with the companies and to building our signatory list so that we can have even more signatories to our manifesto and rolling out this project in various forms so that we're actually really helping to inspire each other, share expertise and experience, and deliver a very strong voice in the Czech Republic to government and to the community at large, which is that business really cares about the climate and is doing a lot in order to solve the problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Vážené dámy, vážení pánové.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad I can greet you at the end of the conference on behalf of the Ministry of Environment and the Council of the Government for Sustainable Development. Let me appreciate the RETHINK project and the Czech Business Council for Sustainable Development. We had the opportunity to see the examples of companies who have committed to particular steps and get ready for them. And thank you very much for your manifesto, Exemplar Trahund, and it is the examples of that help us to get these sustainability ideas into the Czech environment and business. You hold thematic panels, 6 of them, including circular economy, water management, and sustainable financing. Thank you very much for everything you said. We welcome your initiative. In the future, we'd like to introduce a more efficient and faster system. We'd like to remove administration barriers so that you can accomplish your targets faster and better. And I will help with implementation of strategies that are absent today. Let's not forget why we do it, why companies commit to decarbonization and sustainability. This is a multiple crisis which puts before us crisis of biodiversity, climate, energy, and we have to get rid of our dependence on fossil fuels. Decarbonization is a way to independence, and the measures to be taken will help us to renew our landscape, strengthen our resilience as a society of agriculture and forestry. And it is obvious that our efforts must be speeded up with regard to geopolitical situation. COP27 conference will be held in Egypt, and we have to understand that stabilization means that we have to meet the commitments and implement the agreements to be able to achieve the targets of the Paris Treaty, or globally, or locally, and on the national level, as well as on the level of individual businesses. The Czech Republic has committed to achieve climate neutrality by 2050. It is obvious that this is a long way to go, and the current geopolitical crisis makes us to speed up. The Ministry of Environment must provide investment support to renewables development, must increase the energy efficiency in the public and private buildings. The support was and is paid out by Zelená úsporám, Modernizační fond, OP Environment, and Just Transformation Fund. We prepare the update of the climate protection program. We also prepare the state energy concept update. These documents will be submitted to the government by the end of 2023. Energy efficiency and national climate energy plan will be also updated in connection with its periodical recast and in connection with Repower EU and Fit for 55. In connection with the amendment of regulations of construction and industry, we must support the RES. Czech society does not undermine the change of climate. Human activities contribute to the challenges. The Institute 2050 shows that half of the society is supporters of green transformation, 1/8 of us is hesitant, and 1/5 of us are against it. 2/3 of society believe that we must act now or in this decade. This is very important, and this is a support for the effort of the government. Today's conference dealt with inflation, and I'd like to point out about the potential of the Innovation Fund, which has got 25 billion of euro at its disposal, and the Czech Republic doesn't draw down funds from this fund. So we are beyond business as usual. So I have to say that next to necessary support to innovation in the areas in which we look for solutions, we have to say that in the areas where we have solution, we must implement the solution. Overcoming of all crises is a joint effort, and RETHINK project will attract more companies, and I hope they will adopt the voluntary commitments in the strategy of sustainability for the Czech Republic with the deadline 2030.
I would like to share with you a couple of closing remarks. As we have said at the beginning of the day, one of the main challenges today is how to create, support and interconnect efficient measures to deal with the current energy crisis at the national and EU levels, and at the same time how to connect these measures with the measures that will help us to deal with the climate change. The intention of the Czech Business Council was to use the RETHINK platform to associate companies and rally them to solidarily support the climatic commitment and the Paris objectives, and to invite them to cooperate, to exchange examples of good practices and so on. The yesterday meeting at the Embassy of France associated 25 companies that signed the memorandum to support climatic objectives and committed to adopt measures for energy efficiency. The forum today presented 6 panels where we talked about the second objective of the forum. We had today companies operating in the Czech Republic, and the companies explained how they operate their business in order to be sustainable, resilient and competitive. That is why I believe that the 2 days of the RETHINK project were a major success. And at the same time, I want to reconfirm the intention of the Czech Business Council to continue with this initiative, with the participation, with the signatories, but we also want to contact other companies, and our intention is to organize periodical platforms for similar sharing of experience and practices, as it was the case today. And I would like to invite the Ministry of the Environment to join the initiative, as well as the Ministry of Industry and Trade. So I invite the current signatories and the new ones to participate. I would also like to take this opportunity to invite you to cooperate with the Czech Business Council. I'll explain. I have 2 slides. Our Business Council wants to associate all the active supporters of sustainability. We want to be the unifier in the Czech Republic. We cooperate with the World Business Council. We have heard the message of the representative of the World Council, and we also represent the interests and the agenda of the Czech business sector in the World Council. One of the examples of the activities of the Czech Business Council and how we embrace the current trends in the Czech Republic is the project Vision 2050. This slide shows the 9 pillars of the project, and it also explains the expectations for the Czech economy in the long-term horizon. So I suggest that you go to the website of the Czech Business Council, where there is more detailed explanation of the 9 pillars. So there are 9 working groups working within the Council, and I invite you to join. You see the list of these working groups. The groups deal with energy, decarbonization, clean mobility, smart cities, ESG, and so on. We welcome every experience. We welcome any contribution that will help our society move forward. It is my agreeable obligation now, on behalf of the Czech Business Council, to thank all who contributed to the success of the RETHINK project. It is the Embassy of France and the Institut Français de Prague and all the staff and members. I also want to thank the Ministry of the Environment and the Ministry of Industry and Trade, also the sponsors and partner organizations, as well as the Secretariat of the Czech Business Council, and I personally would like to thank the RETHINK project team under the leadership of Petr Dovolil, and I also want to thank Jonathan Wootliff for his involvement and participation. I also want to thank the graphic artist Tomáš for all the graphical design of the documents. I want to thank all the technicians for providing the technical organization, and I want to thank everybody involved in the project. And last but not least, I want to thank the moderator of the event, Julia Hrstkova. I think that we all deserve a round of applause. This is the official end of the Innovation Forum, and I wish you a nice evening. Thank you.
Já děkuji mnohokrát všem i za poděkování a na závěr bych vás velmi ráda pozvala na
and let me invite you to a cocktail next door, and all the slides will be available, will be streamed, and Zelená města is the web address where you can find it, and I hope that this is not the last innovation forum for change. Thank you very much.